Hi, this is Joe Banye for FastPitchPower.com, and in today's video I'm going to continue to talk about exercises that are designed to improve your fielders' capacity to make more plays on the field. In the first video I spoke about the specific strength training strategies that you want to use that actually improve your fielders' ability to get to more batted balls, so improves their explosiveness, their reaction time, their speed on the field. The second category of exercises is designed to improve your athlete's footwork, to gather their feet and arrange their feet around their body or underneath them to put themselves in the best position to then make the play or make the throw without taking any extra steps. There are two categories of exercise that you want to use: capacity and footwork. Like I mentioned in the first video, I suggest you spend more time with adolescent or developing athletes on capacity drills that are going to improve their speed, at least get them to or in front of more batted balls on the field. With more advanced athletes, or to a lesser degree with adolescent or developing athletes, you can incorporate some fun footwork drills that will improve their ability to at least arrange their body efficiently once the play has been made in preparation to make the throw. So those are the drills I'm going to talk about in this video. The general capacity or general skill or ability that it takes to have good footwork on the field is really good awareness of the athlete's legs and feet in space relative to their trunk. I'm going to use another example, another athletic example, to hopefully drive home the point I'm trying to make. Reacting or footwork on the field is really representative of an athlete's ability to anticipate the ground and arrange their feet appropriately to decelerate or change direction. In the case of a fielder is going to want to anticipate the ground, arrange their feet appropriately to get in front of the ball while also putting their legs in the best position to then propel themselves in the direction that they want to throw the ball without taking any extra steps. So what we're looking to do with footwork is get their athlete's feet or legs in the best position to make the throw again without taking any extra steps. The analogy that I want to use is that catching the ground or anticipating the ground is simply like anticipating a ball that's being thrown at you. An athlete knows that if you're going to throw them a ball, they're not just going to expect the ball to hit the glove where they want to. They have to arrange their body, arrange their hands in the best position to catch the ball. It's the same thing with footwork or fielding or any athletic movement. You have to arrange your feet in the best position to catch the ground. You can't just expect your body to stop in a good position to efficiently change direction, and in the case of softball, make the play or make the throw. So I'm going to take you through introductory drills that work on ground preparation or ground anticipation. It's going to give you, the coach, or yourself, the athlete, an idea of how well your legs, how well aware you are of your legs and feet in space prior to hitting the ground. It's going to show you how effectively you can stop and change direction, how much awareness you have of your feet and legs in space as you are moving. So obviously we're going to start with the end point. We're going to start with the end result. The end result here is that if I say, for instance, if I'm moving from my left to my right and I need to get to a batted ball, I'm going to have my feet arranged in the position here, okay, with this hip and leg loaded in order to literally take a step through with this leg as I transfer the ball into my throwing hand, okay, to then again make the play seamlessly. I don't want to gather the ball and have to take too many extra steps and then transfer the ball out of my glove into my throwing hand. I want all of this to happen. Okay, again, I've arranged my body in a position here to come through and to have the ball in my hand, so as soon as my right leg hits the ground, the ball's out of my hand. All right, so it's getting to this point here loaded to, again, make the play across the infield or back across the infield, depending on which position you play. If I'm coming to my left, okay, it's really the same principle. It's the ability to decelerate and gather my body in a good position to do whatever I want. That's make a play. All right, if I'm a second baseman, I'm making the play back to second base. Or I'll use the second baseman as an example. I don't want to have to continue and turn and make the play to first. I want to gather my body in a good position, putting on the brakes here to be able to decelerate, control my body, and get in the best position as quickly as possible to make an effective throw without my momentum carrying me into right field. Now, if you watch TV, there are a lot of great fielders who have a lot of great instincts and natural abilities who can make fancy plays, but what we're doing here is hopefully teaching the right fundamentals to make more routine plays, more routine on the field. So there are certainly exceptions, and there are certainly special plays that are going to be made on the field. For the most part, we're trying to put our athletes in the best position, again, to make routine plays more routine. So, spatial awareness. I need to get my feet right in this position, shifted whichever way to put on the brakes. If I need to go back that way, I want my body in this position, again, to push out and make a play. So, how do we start? Well, the first exercise you start with is a squat pattern with your athletes. You want to take them through basic squatting, because if they can't lower their body, and if they can't even get here, they're never going to be able to get here moving left or right or back behind them. So with young athletes, adolescent, developing high school age athletes, make sure they can squat. Okay, do they get in a good position to be able to field the ball? From the front, you're going to see my knees go out, my toes are pointed straight ahead. Can I lower myself? Does my body feel that that's a safe and free movement pattern? All right, if you see your athletes doing this here or from behind, getting low through their back, how are they going to stop out of a full speed sprint, crossover, or shuffle, regather themselves in a good position to make the play? They're not going to be able to. All right, point A on this A to Z movement continuum is basic squatting mobility. Okay, again, from the side, you're going to see those good fielding angles. Got me? Now, second thing is, can I get into that? Can I anticipate the ground and get into that universal athletic position out of a movement? Right? Eventually on the field, the specific example is going to be, I'm going to sprint and cross over, I'm going to shuffle, I'm going to run behind and have to put on the brakes, and then again anticipate the ground and get into that universal athletic position. But from a squat, we then progress to a simple jump in place. Can your athletes, falling from the sky, arrange their feet underneath them to get back, to anticipate the ground and get back into a best athletic position? So from here, you're going to have athletes squat, jump, anticipate the ground, and get in a good position. Squat, jump, anticipate the ground, and get in a good position. The flaws or mistakes you're looking for is when they jump, do the feet come close together? Do the knees collapse in? Okay, do they get into this position, which we're not going to want for fielding? Okay, or can they jump, anticipate, and rapidly get back in a position, okay, to move effectively? Because that's the same position again. I'm going to need to find, if I'm crossing over, it's the same thing. Okay? If I'm shuffling to my right, I need to find that position. We can't just go there. We can't just go to a sport-specific situation. Start with a squat, move to a jump. The next best progression is a jump sideways. So, fielding being a lateral movement on the field or a side-to-side movement, I'm going to take that jump, progress it to a sideways jump again, and then evaluate my athlete's ability to find that good universal fielding position or athletic position. Have your athletes start, for example, on one side of a hurdle. You can do this on one side of a line in the gym. You can have cones. Start in athletic stance, jump, anticipate, and get low. Okay? Can they split their feet effectively in a position to field the ball? Okay, you can do this with a glove if you're at practice, whatever. All right, again, moving to my left now, squat, jump, anticipate, okay, and be ready. Sport-specific ground anticipation. Again, we're not speeding this up too quickly to get to a sport-specific environment, but you're trying to find where your weak link is in your athletes, building reactive, reflexive, ground anticipatory skills with the lower body. Now we begin to get a little bit more specific. We can incorporate this ground anticipation out of a shuffle or out of a crossover. So, you're going to want a starting line, you're going to want a finish zone. I don't like finishing on a line, just like a zone, because I think it makes it safer. I think if you ask your athletes to stop on a line or stop on a dime, you run into some issues, technically. So we're going to start, you want to start with a starting line, you want to start with a finish zone, then have your athletes either shuffle, crossover, karaoke, do some type of calisthenic, again, rapidly into that universal athletic position. So you start, if I'm moving to my right, I can shuffle, 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 stop. Am I in a good position? Okay, again, shuffling, shuffle, 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 stop. Do your athletes anticipate the ground? Can they stop in this position? Right? Or do they stop with their feet too close together? Do they have to take an extra step? Are they in a position, if they field the ball, can they come up and make a throw while separating their hands without taking too much time? More specifically, can they cross over? Most fielders, honestly, we don't spend too much time shuffling on the field. Most often we're going to field the ball from a sprint to a transitional crossover step, and then we square up to the ball. So the next progression is going to be out of a crossover. Simple, one-step crossover from my left to my right. I'm going to cross over. Can I arrange my feet in a good position? Okay? Again, do my feet get too close? From the side, if I cross, another thing to look for is, do I cross over? Do I get my hips square to my target, or in a good position to go back the other way in which I came from? It's also important that, especially athletes on the field moving to my right or to your left, that you can cross over and then regather your hips square to, in this case, the ball. Right? That you, if you cross over, if you're shuffling, that you don't close yourself off. Close yourself off, because if you have to turn and make a play, it takes too much time. So ground anticipation is not just getting low and getting in a spot pattern, but it's also a matter of awareness, three-dimensional awareness with your hips. Another thing to look for. The last thing, most specifically, is what we refer to as leg or shin angles. Best case scenario, okay, for an athlete, again, I'm going to use this example of making a play to my right, having to throw the ball back across the infield to my left. All right, if I have to turn, I square up to a ball here, I actually don't want to be in this position. I want to be slightly angled back towards first base or second base, so I can immediately push away from the ground and make the play. It takes more time to field the ball squarely here, shift back, adjust my body, which your athletes will do naturally. They'll shift, all right, which is just time. It's time spent on the ground, all right, to get their momentum going back in the direction they came from. So what you want to work on is finding, okay, these angles to quickly move out of. This is the most advanced skill, and you don't need to get here for a while. Honestly, don't install this too quickly because you think it's really efficient. You need to back engineer your athletes far enough to find out where they're the weakest. If they can't squat, you squat. If they can't jump and land properly, jump and land. All right, if they can't shuffle or cross over, you need to stay there. This is the end of the road. So what we're trying to do, again, is create, if I'm shuffling, shin angles here, where I can effectively push back and make a play quickly. We start. The first drill that teaches us the best is a simple cut stop or a 2-inch line punch. I'm going to take myself from an athletic position. All I'm going to do is feel my legs adjust out from underneath my hips to punch the ground. My upper body doesn't move that much, punch. Again, this is just the next step in ground anticipation. If I'm making a play, again, I'm going to keep giving you examples so you really see this in motion as it should be. If I'm making a play deep to my right and I gather my body here, I want to be in the best position with my feet angled. Automatically, my body knows it needs to get in this position because it's already anticipated me making the play and getting back, all right, across the infield. All right, shin angles. I don't want to end up, once I progress and I'm qualified to land in an athletic position, you assess your athlete's ability to just control their body into an athletic position, then you apply this skill. Working back to my left, same idea, punch. Okay? All right, punch. Again, looking to create this ability, or those angles, which put your body, your skeleton, in the best position to push away from the ground. You then install the cut stop into drills that I've already shown you. So we can take the line jump or the hurdle jump, right, and install that cut stop or that footwork arrangement in ground anticipation in a position, again, that's more sport specific. And going back to my right, jump, anticipate, right, with our body arranged to change direction. After the jump comes the sport specific movements. Okay, so shuffle, shuffle, shuffle into a cut stop. All right, and change it and walk it back. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle into a cut stop and walk it back. And then cross over into a cut stop, cross over. Here is my body in a good position to change direction and make the throw. I wouldn't, after all this motor improvement, motor software engineering, just go play some ball. Don't have your athletes think too much about this. Concentrate the emphasis, I guess, outside of the softball environment, and then let them have some fun and see where it goes. You'll see that you'll take away from their natural fielding instincts that you're focusing on something like this too much. I suggest breaking it up, okay, and seeing what the improvements are, what the results are, right? Because again, you don't want, especially in season, you don't want your athletes thinking about footwork on the field or during their skill practices too much. It'll take away from their performance.